invite one of our guests. He is now over here with us, Mr. Yuvraj Chaulagai. He's a well-celebrated singer from Nepal. He's a modern singer and he has sung more than 300 songs in Nepali. He is pretty versatile and prolific singer. So can we have Mr. Chaulagai over here on the stage, please?
Come on, let's give him a big hand. Come on, we can do that.
And he promised that he's gonna sing Maithili song soon, right? Please do not fight me on with Bhojpuri, Awadhi, and you can also request him to do the same for the other languages. He has a very soothing voice. Woo! Thank you.
नसरा जी के बजाकर सम्मानित करिए.
Okay, then. Now the floor is yours. You can invite our panelists.
Okay.
Let's have the discussion going on. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, let's settle down first. Rhythm, we cannot fight here. Okay. What we have now is what we call excuse me, ANTA founders and veterans. The main goal actually is to see what they have done before and moving forward, what could we do as a community to help each other grow ANTA and make ANTA stronger. So I'll just call name and please join me here. You can sit anywhere. Sushil Jhaji, kahan thi? Yeah. Sushil Jhaji, wherever you are. Okay. Ratan Jhaji, Aljat. Balkrishna ji. Mukesh Singh ji. Jay Mandal ji. Annapurna Dio ji. Shiv Mishra ji. Lalit Jhaji and Dr. Pramod Khan ji. Also. So these are my guinea pigs for next, I don't know how many hours.
So that you face the crowd. Kanik na, make it you. Yeah, make it you.
Let's do one thing, by the way. This is this may be a very important session for all of us. So I would really appreciate if everyone can sit down and if you could minimize the side talk, that would be really great.
No, yeah. हाँ. और थोड़ा और condensed हो जाए. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so I would like to welcome our esteemed panelists here. And I'm going to pass this along so that they can introduce themselves. I'm going to time it, so you have 1 minute each because of time constraints to say who you are, and then we'll talk about the questions and others. So, Sushil, first, can we have a big hand for our panelists here, please? These are your founders. These are your veterans. They have worked on this not just for today, but from a long time ago. ANTA is what it is today, despite the fact that ANTA went through ups and downs. It survived, and these are the leaders actually, one way or the other, has helped pass the baton, help ANTA grow, and because we are so passionate about ANTA, these are the leaders we should be thankful for to helping us guide actually through the current date. So Balakrishna ji, हम यहीं के देशी पहले.
हाँ.
Thank you, Rajesh ji. Myself, Balakrishna Jha. Short introduction would be, I'm a friend and well-wisher of ANTA. And I became passionate about ANTA because I was always passionate about empowerment of my community. So ups and downs, those times I would still say it was systematic discrimination against Madhesis or Tarayans, people of different origins, other than some origins. So that is where my passion for advocacy for Tarayans and Madhesis started. When I came to America, I saw there was already an organization advocating for equal rights, empowerments, and all. So that's how I got onboarded. What else? Yeah, I think that's all.
Thank you, Balakrishna ji.
Yeah, give him a hand, come on.
I'm Sushil Jha, living in Maryland right now, but belongs from Sarlai district. And I run a small construction business in DC, Virginia area. I have 2 kids, which is already grown up. They are settled their own way. And for here, ANTA, I associated with ANTA in 2010. And since then I'm here. In between a couple of years, I was like totally inactive, but I became active last year as an advisor. So this is my introductions. I will pass this mic to another introducer. We will talk our ups and downs, and we will talk more about ANTA. Thank you.
Thank you, Sushil ji.
My name is Pramod Kant. I'm from Birgan in Nepal. We came to this country in 1989. How many people are here who came before me? Of course, there are many. You can raise your hands or not. So, long timer here. As far as what I do, I'm a professor at Wright State University in political science. We have 3 children. They are all grown up, okay, and they are having their own children. That's another nice dimension. To be a grandpa. And as far as ANTA is concerned, as Sushilji said, we will have more opportunity to talk about that. But as a founder, we have been very gung-ho and excited about this organization. And we are very happy because we got very alienated and disenchanted. and then we started running away from the organization. So thanks to the leadership that you have succeeded in bringing us back, and we are honored to be back and be part of this family. And a very great feast today. I have never had time when I ate fish. Kabhi hua tha kya?
Don't say this is your best fish, otherwise Bhabhi is going to get you.
उसको अपने खाना नहीं बनाना पड़े ना, उसको जैसा भी बना के दे दीजिए वो करती है. That's how I have started cooking now. But that's my.
I'm training to cook now because I said last year for
So, yeah, a proud grandpa.
Jai Shri Ram. So, my name is Jay Mandal. I'm from Saptari district, and I'm here in the US for last 20 years. So I don't call myself a founder, but I say I'm like a great servant of community, our ANTA community. And I have very much pleasure with such a legend, Dr. Kanta, to all these different great leaders here, servant leadership. With the, I would like to highly, appreciate and acknowledge Mr. Mukesh Singh ji, who gave the actually the foundation. And this is the historic place, Columbus, which is it gave the today is 18 years. We, as like a parent, we feel that our kids have grown up, and we don't have to do nothing. And this organization is going, with the different challenges and going with the again passing the baton to the next generation. More questions will come. We'll talk. This is my short brief introduction.
Thank you.
Thank you,
हमर नाम लली झा है, हमर घर जनकपुर भेल। 1991 में हम मुकेश रतन करीब 1 सप्ताह के आसपास आयल रही ठमन। हमर बैकग्राउंड सिविल इंजीनियरिंग, प्राइवेट कंसल्टिंग फर्म में काज करै छी, वाटर रिसोर्सेज इंजीनियर। बिटवीन हमर 3टा बच्चा, हमर कन्या और हमर बीच में 3टा बच्चा, तीनों 26 वर्ष के छै। They're all 26-year-old. And they live on their own. Actually, I married a white woman. So for 10 years I was in that world, and I missed my culture, And I didn't get the opportunity to hang out and do stuff. So that was one reason I wanted to get back to the root. And other was, I think, what was impetus was. We were in a conference, ANA conference in 2003, and Ratan and I was in Germany and was there. Somebody asked me, are you from India or something, and that really made me mad. So growing up in Nepal, I had suffered all the discrimination, so I just remember in 2003 when that couple of hilly people asked me where I'm from Nepal, it made me very mad. And I said, I've suffered a lot in India, but not in America. You're not going to do that to me. And that's what one of the reasons that we started. So.
Thank you, Lolita. As you can see, a lot of hair, not hair. I wanted to make a point, and that's because my wife lost more. 10टा सवेरे ज़्यादा, 10टा शाम में ज़्यादा निकालते तंग ज़्यादा निकल। So those who have lost hair, that means your spouse loves you a little bit more. But when Dr. Saab called it, what brought you here? I think the love for ANTA, no matter where you were. Despite the fact there were some disenchantments in others, the love for ANTA brought all of you here. And as you can see, so let's give them another big round of applause. And I'll pass it to Ratan Jha.
Thank you. Our name is Ratan Jha. Proud to be founding member of ANTA. We did it in 2005. अभी ANTA version 2 सुन लिया, कभी कुछ सुने छी, लेकिन I think that it started with ANTA and it's doing great service for Madhesi communities, I guess. Even though there is ups and downs, but I think on a bigger purpose, I think it is still serving throughout the US. वो हमरा सबके लिए एकटा बड़का अचीवमेंट अछि। और हम टेक्सास में रहे छी, ह्यूस्टन टेक्सास में, गांव हमर सरलाही जिला नेपाल में, और सिविल इंजीनियर बाय एजुकेशन, रियल एस्टेट डेवलपमेंट के काम हम करे छी। और विशेष साथी सब जे कहलिन जे पैशन, सिर्फ पैशन जे अपना एक दूसर के बीच में एक बारे में करी डिटेल में हम हिस्टोरिकल पर्सपेक्टिव देव अहाँ सबके, लेकिन दिस इज द प्लेस 18 years ago, मेमोरियल डे वीकेंड, my good friend, another founder, Mukesh, was going to be the convener of ENMA, second largest Nepali association. So we came to cheer him up, and on the sideline we had this discussion of having our own based on our experience in Denver in another Nepali association where he was repeatedly asked if he is from India. Kind of that was a trigger.
So we have achieved a lot of things. I think that we have a great potential. Second generation, Aprajita ji emphasized a lot in her opening thing, and I think we should focus on that. And yeah, I think I'll wait for my turn. But it's so good to be with families.
Thank you very much.
हमारा नाम मुकेश सिंघल, हम यहाँ कोलंबस में 1991 में ही यहाँ आकर के हम लॉ स्कूल खत्म कर करके वही फील्ड में काज शुरू करी। तो हम ANTA के फाउंडिंग मेंबर छे, सब कहल कि ना हमार घर भेल मलंगवा सरलाही और I also have a family here. My wife is senior engineer in Chipotle currently in IT field. I have a son who just graduated with a biomedical engineering degree from Case Western, and my daughter is going to be junior in Syracuse University. And so I came to Columbus, I studied in Columbus, I live in Columbus, I have never gone anywhere from Columbus. So Malangba se सीधे Columbus.
आपने बहुत काम करके सेव कर दो।
तो काम तो खाली लीगल फील्ड में थी। लीगल फील्ड में थी। So thank you very much, Bhupan Pradip.
सबके नमस्कार and सबको बधाई। आ कन्वेंशन छिए सक्सेसफुल जा रहल छै, and of course tonight it will be end for next term. We start, so really बधाई for the now new term to be and in past term. Thank you. हम one of the founders छी, हम ओइठाम, हमर नाम अन्नपूर्णा देव भेल। हम तराई 70 से छी। अन्नपूर्णा नेपाल के माउंटेनो छै आ देवियो छी। हमार मंदिर में बड़ा चढ़ावे छै नारायण अन्नपूर्णा, हमर घरवाला के नाम नारायण छथिन। हम एठाम 81 में याल रहो, उनका ज्वाइन ग्रुप में पढ़े ले याल छथिन through the USAID, so I came to join him. एठाम हमरा लड़का है, एकटा लड़की है, एकटा लड़का लड़की छै, उनका नातिन छथिन। हम एठाम नेपाल में हम सेंट मेरी में पढ़ने छी, सेंट जेवियर में पढ़ने छी। एठाम हम ट्रिप में एक सेमेस्टर हम पढ़ने छी हिंदी। तकर बाद बाकी हम IT फील्ड में एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन छलिए। अब हम ड्यूटी से रिटायर भेल छी यूनिवर्सिटी से। करंटली हमर जॉब छै, हम रिटायरी छी, लेकिन हम तेओ काम कर रहल छी, सेल्फ एम्प्लॉयड। आई एम सर्टिफाइड superior court mediator in the North Carolina, and also public policy consultant. Our educational field is public policy, public administration, somewhat in the legal term, not the lawyer. हमारे इसी हम नॉर्थ कैरोलिना में लोग होते हैं डरहम में 20 माइल के बाद केरी एक नया टाउन छी नॉर्थ कैरोलिना, वही में छी। जब से लिए तब से हम ट्रांसफर सेम टाउन में छी, तो सब कुछ जाएगा जरूरी नहीं पड़ रहा है कि जहाँ तक ANTA को बात है। तो हम 99 में एक कम्युनिटी हमारा नॉर्थ कैरोलिना में नेपाल सेंटर नॉर्थ कैरोलिना हम फाउंडर छे प्लस हम प्रेसिडेंट रहिए कि नेपाली वुमेन्स ग्लोबल नेटवर्क दुईटा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन थे। समटाइम फॉर 1 year I was the president for both organization, 2 साल के टर्म से, 6 साल में रहिए। तो एनीवे ते टाइम हम US में ANTA, ANA, ANMA, NASA और some couple of organizations अपना ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के रिप्रेजेंट करेंगे प्रेसिडेंट। तो हमारे जो स्पीच है तो हमेशा हम की कर 1-2 लाइन मैथिली हम बाजबे टा करिए। हमारे गोल है जो कोई मैथिली भाषी है वा कोई तराई नहीं देते चिंता जो वो आदमी ना तराई से आज तो उसको भेटले तो हम भेटो बेदरा परिचय से। तो तहिना एक बेर हमरा से जॉर्जिया में छलिए तो हमारे स्पीच रहठाम ते हम मैथिली बात तखनी वन ऑफ द फाउंडर्स हियर ओइठा हमरा से भेटल रही 2002 में। तो सबके सेम कहानी से हमरा एक बेर DC में एज प्रेसिडेंट बोलन रहथिन से करलन तो हमरा सब हैप्पी के कल्चर फोरम में जाय रहिए। एक नेपाली के डिफरेंट जियोग्राफिकल सेक्टर से हमरा से बात करके तपाईं चाहिँ पक्कै नेपाली हो अंकल हो र म त नेपाल तराई नेपाल त के छैन बोर्डर में हम बिहार के छी, लेकिन हम माछरी नेपाल से त अंकल हो र कसरी तपाईं देख्नुहुन्न अंकल थाहा छ म बसेको ठाउँमा त म तपाईँ जस्तो चेहरा कसैलाई देखेको छैन, तपाईँ पनि पक्कै नेपाली होइन मैले भने के। अनि अर्कोले भने घात दिएको को साथी रहे कि त्यो नेपालको जियोग्राफी पनि थाहा छैन, उसले भन्दैछ तराईको छु भने तपाईँ पक्कै नेपाली तपाईँ जियोग्राफी थाहा छैन। अनि पछि ऊ आदि बडा लाल हमरा टेकमा त अहाँको नगर हमरा नहीं देखो, हमर नगर कहाँ नहीं देखो, तो नेपाली कतऽ छ। सो ही वाज बिकेम वेरी साई कि ई फीलिंग सब दिन हमरा सबके दुख जे है ओकरा चपा के राखै छी. We would suppress that, still smile. I feel I will smile, but I'll say it with a smile. If I saw that person will never say something like that to anybody, because we should respect. Especially if I was invited as a guest in my speech, I said from where I am. I was Nepali, that's what invited me. So kapan kal teacher mras apai that stereotype, it just comes out, and that hurts. So ANTA is kind of product of that feeling from all of us. And when ANTA form मिले, हालांकि हम बहुत organizers अखनी में हम trustee chair भी छिए, president में, लेकिन it just brought beautiful hand because we have same, we didn't share those thoughts, but everybody experienced the same thing. So it's like being on your mighty, ladies के लिए mighty बड़ा चीज़ है, घर छिए, जब men के अपन घर बड़ा mighty ससुराल नहीं है, सीधा बात करो ना. So it's just feeling your bond in your own community, in your food, everything maach banle, pura tarai joka maach banle, सब बात मिलेगी. So lots of things brings together. But as a whole, we are Nepali, but connect with your own kind of people is different things. So I'm happy to be there. I'm happy to see ANTA rising forward. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you, Didi.
Thank you. My name is Shiv Misra, and I'm basically from Maya Devi, Gaupalika, Kapilvastu, Nepal. I came to United States in 2004 and landed in Maryland, DC area, where I can say that we stayed there for 1.5 years, along with Buddhi Sagar Subedi from, who is NRLA current president. We shared the same apartment there. After that, in 2005, I moved to North Carolina, Cary area, where I met our respected Dev, uncle and Puraji. We stayed there till 2009. I moved here in Columbus, to Columbus for work. I work as a software professional in Cardinal Health from 2009 till today. I have 3 kids. The eldest one is software engineer. Next one is my daughter. She just graduated in education from Ohio State University. She will come and join in the evening. I have an 8th grader who is still keeping me young and dynamic and running. And then my wife is Sunita sitting there. Association with ANTA is not too much proud to be here, sharing the stage with all dignitaries here. Founders. I don't know how I was selected to be part of this thing. So really proud and thankful that you gave me the opportunity to share my thought process and journey. 2 years, less than 2 years I have been with ANTA. And I feel like I have been there forever. We have worked with this team. They all have different diversified dynamic mindset, which may relate back to us to 2003, 4, 5 when ANTA was born. Because things change. We have to change with time. If we don't change, we become ignorant and we become irrelevant with the changing environment and changing generation. So more to talk, but that was my short introduction and my...
Thank you, Shivji.
Namaskar. My name is Rajiv Shrestha. I'm the treasurer of NRNA USA. And first, I would like to really thank you, our brother Ji, for invitations. You have given me opportunity to meet such a wonderfully great people here, who's been the great example of our Nepalese community as a whole. We have a Mukesh Mama. His contribution to not just the ANTA, but just a little organization, Indiana, where I'm from. He helped to create that organization, all the bylaws, and looking back the history, NRNA bylaws was created by our Mukesh Mama. We have in front Ratan Jhaji, NRN Agraj, my friend Jay, he was in ICC, and all these things. I wasn't aware of that. So it was such a great opportunity for me to be here. And having said that, why I'm here is, my goal is integrations, okay? I am an NRNA, I represent NRNA, but there are a lot of communities here. And this, why it's important is just, I want to give you one example, and I really want to acknowledge Mr. Shiva Misra here. Can you give him an applause? And I will tell you why. In August, NRNA sent Hughes Air Force aircraft, but we didn't have anything to send on it. It's true. Few days earlier, we didn't have anything. We had connection with Shiva Misraji, our Buddhi. So they were friends. So he was leveraged his resources to, what, 80–90% of the stuff we sent to Nepal for second COVID relief was from Shiva Misraji, from his Seva Foundation. So I really appreciate. So this is how the thing works. We don't know, we are from different part of Nepal, we live in different part of countries, but the things works very amazingly. We are all connected. We are one people. Yes, my heritage goes to Tarai. From Sarlai to Saptai, I have relatives. I was born in Kathmandu, but I'm from, my ancestry from Dhading, Gajuli, you know, but my Mama Ghar is Sira, Mirsaya. So I grew up in both areas. I spent a lot of my childhood, my brothers went to school there, and Jay knows very much about all the schools and things like that. So it is a really great honor to represent NRNA, and I wanted to, discuss on how we can integrate our communities like ANTA, Ma, because you guys bring unique opportunity and challenges what your community is going through and suffering. I have heard suffrage, discriminations back in Nepal. It is very common things. I'm hearing Janajati, different groups are complaining that. But the thing is that to fight against that, we cannot just, we have to find a solution. How we can improve that things doesn't happen in Nepal anymore. As a result, we have to unite. We have to put our intellectual talent, our financial resources, economic resources, and change these things, our community and our society. So we can take Nepal into different directions, and also we can uplift our communities here in USA, as well as connect our children with their roots, is that right? So look at that. We are losing language. I'm Newari communities. I don't speak Newari. I forgot. I used to speak fluently Maithili. I don't speak anymore of that. So let's work together. Let's promote this language, because once we lose this, it's very difficult to get back. I'm telling you, language is that thing. I went to Russia. I keep that Russian language my priority. I listen in Russians, I speak in Russians, just to keep that. That is advantage. Having ability to speak in Hindi, that's my pride. I should be able to speak in Hindi, Maithili, Bhojpuri, so many languages. If you can teach your kids your root language, your culture, it's really great. It is an opportunity, and we need to work together, and let's work together so it won't vanish. Soon it is going away, pretty soon. So I'm here in the discussion.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, Rajivji. We appreciate it. Here's what we're going to do, because this took longer. I said 1 minute, so apologize. What I'm going to do is ask, भाई को नाम क्या है? Yeah. तपाईँको नाम? आपका नाम क्या है? Rohit ji. Let's time it. Okay, you and me are still sitting, because we have a lot of panelists. I want to make sure, please do not go more than 2 or 3 minutes for any question I ask. Okay, so for average question is 3 minutes. So moving forward, I want to actually, before we go through our round of questions, I want to give a 3 to 4 minute platform to our founding president, Ratan Jhaji. He last night told me, and that will summarize perhaps the founding member, what happened initial years, how difficult it was for our community to come to the US, what difficulties they faced, what they did. For a lot of us, you may not know, but there was a route that you will hear from him that helped us all. Most of you are here because the things they did initially with the US Embassy and others. There's a route that ANTA helped create for most of us to be here, easier for us to be here. So I'll give, that said, I'll give him this mic.
Thank you. So anyway, so I have to kind of share the historical aspect. So like you say, like I just said earlier, 2004 we gathered to cheer up our friend. So I'll come to the embassy things and what we did later, but I'm just giving you a little background which will help, I guess, moving forward. We are more trying to focus on moving forward, how this association can move forward, learning the lesson from the past. So in 2004, he did not send us any invitation. Even though he was a convener, we came and we flew with families. Jay Mandal came. So that was the passion. That was the passion. We heard, oh, fellow Madesi is a convener in Anma. Those days it was very rare. I think he was the only guy. So we came uninvited, but still came to cheer up our fellow Madesi. That was the driving force. So I'm just giving you why we formed this association. Okay. So number one, so that burn, the fire has to be in you. If you are joining anyone, my young friends, that's what I'm going to name you guys. You got to have that passion, because that was what led us to create this. Second thing is, when the association was formed, he was the most senior guy. He knew kind of all this. He has written all the bylaws of all other associations, including Indiana, NRM, ENMA, ANTA, all. So natural choice was out of 7 that he will become the president. But no, he said that you become the president. I'm just telling you the real story so that you'll see who we were. Who are we? So what does it tell you? Position was not an issue for us. We were very 7 people, we just took, okay, you become general secretary, because that document of registration requires you to put president, whoever, general secretary, treasurer. So we did it. But we work in a cohesion. So that is who we are actually, and that is why with 7 we very quickly grew. It was not an easy way. Lots of even people with a good educational background would hesitate to come join Madesi Association. They used to feel that it is his or her Nepali friends will say that, hey, Madesi Madesi. So they used to hesitate to come, but brick by brick, we added people. We used to have a small get together in all the big associations, in ANTA, ANMA. We used to go every association, and they used to give us one room, one slot for 1 hour, parallel sessions. But the kind of people we brought, the kind of the theme we put, what was, we were very bold. Lalit will go in kurta pajama those days in Chicago convention, I remember. People were laughing at him. Hey, Hare Krishna, are you guys ISKCON? Dhoti. But we did not deviate, because we knew we were fighting a very good cause. We kept wearing until they said that, oh, you guys are doing great now. They started offering us to lead their organization now. Like Annapurna ji said, she was president of, in her own capacity, he was the second largest association. Another founder who is not here, he is in Dharamsala, India today. he couldn't come. Denver, he was ANTA president, so we all were, having an experience of, other Nepali associations running. So that is the part integration came from. We always wanted to integrate. The problem was on the other side, they would not like to acknowledge us. So we thought that awareness was lacking. Even the PhD professor, the guy who was asking us, are you really from Nepal? So Lalit and I will respond saying that, why can't you give me a benefit of doubt and say that, are you Nepali, rather than saying that, up India's hand. You know that. So we countered those things, and it's okay, I guess. Now more and more people know, they have accepted, we are more integrated, so that part is how. So two things, in my last, I am speaking a little faster. Two things, the passion and no scope for position. If you are serving in a non-profit organization, please do not come here for a position. That is now, I will take another, how much time I have? 2 minutes? I will just, he's gone.
No, 2 minutes, go.
So I'll just say that what are the things that can help us moving forward. Not every leader is different. Every leader is different. Aprajita is doing good. This is a new format. We are all liking it. So we all should have the capability to do our own. So I will let you talk about embassy and all. Is that okay? Okay. So one thing I want to conclude. In the Association of Nepali Tarayan in America, you know that America? Why we kept America in there? There has to be some meaning, right? Everything you see that logo, it has been thought very deeply. Every word. So America, what does it tell you? That you have to abide by the law of land. You have to, this is a non-profit organization, there is 501c3, all. But it also tells you that the value, the American values has to be there. There are good amount of American value. So coming on time, like the gentleman in the Pacurel was telling, unless you stop, I'm not going to speak. Everybody was, so that is American values we can impart. And also, have you ever seen a former president telling the new president how to run America? Have you seen any Obama telling Bush or vice versa? Have you seen ever? So what I'm saying is, the reason I'm bringing, every time the problem comes, we were approached. Oh, founder, you need to intervene. There is a huge problem in association. Lauro. By the way, Lauro is doing a tremendous magic in Nepal. You know that, and we should invite him as an honorary member of ANTA because he is promoting our identity, he is reclaiming dignity, and he is empowering like nothing else, which is our motto too. So the point I'm coming back to, and that's why we did not intervene. As you can remember when he became after me, Dr. Vinod Shah, who is not here or he is not with ANTA now. I would refrain. I think that's where the leadership develops. When Lalit becomes, I never even called ever. That's why he did what he needed to do. Aprajita ji would be same. We would try not to intervene. And I think, I want you, the reason I'm bringing this, I think you should take this as a good thing, good values. Not that we are away from it. We love ANTA like anything, but we don't want to be executive. It doesn't mean that we do not care and we don't want to help you, but I think we need to distinguish, like lots of new things he is doing, we would not have thought about it. So that's the new leadership should be very independent and be able to run his or her own show. That is what our association should be. Lastly, some of the things, notable things we did, in 2005, we formed ANTA. And 2007 in Nepal, there was a Madhesi problem in Madhes. So, in that time, we took a little bigger approach. And so, I would let my other colleague, my other friend to talk about those events. I think that way we'll split. Is that okay to give to Mukesh?
Yeah, 3 minutes.
Okay,
Summarize.
I'll try to be in full
Thank you,
compliance. I'll try to be in full compliance. Basically, for me, my father was first Madhesya DIG, District Inspector General Police in Nepal. And when I grew up in the police setting, I rarely saw anybody from Madhes. I rarely saw anybody from Madhes. That always made me wonder, why is that? Why there is no people representation in police? Then I found out same thing in army or same thing in any other government areas. I always ask my dad, like, why is this? Then I became a student of law. And I also was a lecturer in Nepal Law College. So I analyzed a lot of laws in Nepal, why these things exist. Then I came to the conclusion that there is a systematic legal issues and hurdles. That's why those discriminations are taking place. There are procedural issues. There are actually educational issues that people are not aware of. And the things were designed in such a fashion that people from Madhes will never qualify. For example, in Lok Seva Ayog, which was Public Service Commission of Nepal, if you give an exam of the section officer, which was the entry-level position in the gazetted positions, out of 1,000 numbers, 600 numbers were given to Nepali language. So anyone from Madhes, even if they do very well in the 400 number, in the 600 number they will never get. Similarly, same things were in the police exam was the same thing. And Susil is here, who himself was SP in the police, so he knows explaining more. So those systematic type of things that were there, I carried that with me even here. So I further got educated in United States in the legal field. Then I looked at the civil rights law of this country, all the age discrimination, all the sex discrimination laws. Then I felt that if we open this ANTA here, this can be one of the platforms which will allow us to internationalize, educate American officials, and hence give the message to the human rights group to the Nepal. I give you one good example. We did analysis the how many visas for Madhesi people is being rejected in Nepal after opening ANTA. Then we saw there was a huge disparity. People from Kathmandu, if they have one opening of land, they will give that as a financial support, affidavit of support, and value is over crores and things like that, and they will easily get a visa. But people from Sarlai who have even 10 bighas land, they will never get the visa. So we took a delegation to the Scott Delsi was ambassador at the time in Nepal. We went to US Embassy and we were US citizens. We said, look, we're from Tarai. Why this disparity in getting visa? Although they have the same GRE number or more, they have the same TOEFL number, but they're not getting a visa. Why? And they were not even aware of that. Then I said, you guys have a 600 staff in your American embassy here. Why I don't see even single people from Madhes? You had all Paharias you were hiding here. The ambassador was not even aware of that. DCM was not even aware of that. I said, if you guys don't take care of these issues here, we will bring this issue to our senators in the Ohio or in Texas or everywhere. We'll go and talk about this. The American embassy who advocates for anti-discrimination laws, they themselves are discriminating in Nepal in high practice. They told us you'll come back after 2 years, we'll have several Madhesi's in this thing. And we went back and checked it. We had 47 people. So what I'm saying is that this platform should always think about a stated purpose. What is the stated purpose that we open this organization? Okay, giving a project here and there, those are very procedural matters. Those are very small things. So I always focus on how we can make a substantial changes. Like Rajiv was saying, how we can integrate. Why did I become a president of ANMA? Because I wanted then in every ANMA convention, when there was a convention, I wanted Paharia people to talk about Tarai issues. I told them, you need to advocate for that. If you are really a Nepali. It is not Madhesi issue we're talking about. Like today in this country, white people are talking about the discrimination against African Americans. So that is what we need to do in integration. Yanarani will talk about why laws has to be changed, why hiring practice has to be changed in Nepal. It is not only Madhesi issue. Madhes issue is Nepali issue. Madhes issue affects every Nepali. If you going to isolate a group of people, you're going to lose a lot of talents. Lot of talents you will lose. So, one of the things that I request upcoming executive committee for making sure that don't forget a stated purpose. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, that was awesome. Thank you. Okay, so now we'll go around. So apologies, we had to learn about our history, what ANTA has done and why we are here. Because of certain things they did, it has helped the greater mass actually. Even for, they forgot to add, there were time actually, because of lack of Madheshis here in the US, when they were offered DB, goes 2 letters, first and second, a lot of Madheshis people did not get second letter because no one was sponsoring. That's very true. So a lot of Madhesi people initially who got DV, because they did not get second letter, they were not getting the green card or DV visa. So ANTA mobilized that. We all chipped in, we all have sponsored certain people before. These were the initial years.
We advertised in Nepal that anybody who has got DV from Madhes can contact X number, and we pulled them. And we said
we responded 20 people, 25 people, all of us.
And that's how actually a lot of Madhesi people started coming to later on, and now of course. So now we are moving. Apologies, but we are changing the complete gear here. Now future. As you know, JF Kennedy said, President JF Kennedy said, "Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country." So here's my question to all of you. Please, I know if he's raising a flag there, be mindful. Okay. So I'll start from Balakrishnaji that side. I want 2 things. Give me 2 things each of you would like to do for ANTA. Not what ANTA can do for you. Give me 2 things you like to do for ANTA, and how are you going to do it? You have 5 minutes each. So 2 things, not many, 2 things you want to do for ANTA, and how can you do it? How are you going to get engaged? Balakrishnaji, all yours.
Thank you, Rajesh.
Can I interrupt for 1 second? I'm taking notes, and whatever they say, I'm going to hold on to that.
That's nice. I like that. I don't lose here by mistake, by the way. You know that, right?
It's recording as well.
So let me see if I can think. I'm not prepared for it, but I think those are the questions that we are always wondering about, right? So what?
Balakrishnaji, let's pass, and then we'll come back to you.
Sure.
When you're thinking, Susilji,
Of course.
There you go. He's a great man.
I have a lot of things to say here. अभी मैं हिंदी में आता हूँ, इंग्लिश से हिंदी में उतरता हूँ और मैं थोड़ा सा इसको ट्विस्ट करता हूँ कि आपने क्या किया, अब क्या करना है। आपने मुझसे पूछा कि 2-3 क्या करेंगे। मैं आपको बताता हूँ हिस्ट्री में 2010 में आंटा के साथ एसोसिएट हुआ। तो आंटा को किस तरह से पोर्ट्रेट किया गया और क्यों बहुत लोग दूर चले गए, ये रियल स्टोरी है। और आप माने या नहीं माने, आंटा से बहुत लोग बाहर गए और बहुत अच्छे लोग बाहर गए। किस लिए गए, क्या कारण है? आप अगर अच्छे किए थे तो क्यों बाहर गए और क्यों स्प्लिट हुआ? माने या नहीं माने, 2-3 स्प्लिट तो हो चुका है। किस लिए हुआ स्प्लिट? तो मैंने जो दिखा, मैं जो फील किया, मैं आपको बताता रहा हूँ कि हम क्या था, स्टेज लगता था, 8-10 आदमी बैठते थे, उनको सिर्फ सुनने का मौका मिलता था, बोलने का मौका नहीं मिलता था। और उस जो ऑडियंस रहते थे, उस ऑडियंस में बहुत लोग अच्छे आदमी थे, बहुत लोग बहुत कैपेबल थे जो मंच में बैठते थे, और उनको आप लोग साइड लाइन करते गए। तो किस तरह से इंटरेस्ट डेवलप हुआ? इंटरेस्ट डेवलप करने के लिए तो कुछ तो कीजिए। एक वेबिनार करने से, या आप हमके जैसे, मैं आता हूँ, मैं पुलिस में 20 साल जॉब किया। आई गॉट अ रिटायरमेंट फ्रॉम दियर, राइट। आई वाज फेसिंग फ्रॉम पंचायती व्यवस्था टू डिफरेंट सेनेरियो। जो आज से 20 साल पहले नेपाल में मधेसी को देखने के प्रति जो नजरिया था, वो काफी चेंज हो चुका है। आप अभी काठमांडू में जाइए, कोई मधेसी कोई नहीं बोल सकता। तो उस इरा को आप पास कर चुके हैं। वो ये मत बोले कि आपको आइडेंटिटी क्राइसिस है। देयर इज नो आइडेंटिटी क्राइसिस। आई फील दैट वे बिकॉज़ आई सर्व फॉर 20 इयर्स इन माय गवर्नमेंट इंस्टीट्यूशन। तो अब क्या है कि आंटा में आपने क्या किया, तो आपने क्या किया और इसको करने के लिए बाहर क्यों लोग हैं? अभी हमने वो देखा था स्लाइड्स को, जिसमें सिर्फ 500 मेंबर लाइव मेंबर है और बाकी 50 शायद कितना था जनरल मेंबर। सो जनरल मेंबर 50 में क्यों आया? हमने कभी सोचा नहीं। हमने सिर्फ प्लेटफॉर्म को यूज किया। माने या नहीं माने, इस प्लेटफॉर्म से यूज करके बहुत लोग एनआरएन में गए और उसके बाद इसको भूल गए। तो वो चीज भी तो है, उस चीज को आप क्यों नहीं देखते हैं और हम क्यों एसोसिएट हुए? और मैं आप बताता हूँ, इनके 3 बच्चे हैं, मेरे 2 बच्चे हैं, काफी ग्रोन अप है। दे कैन डोनेट लाइक $2,000 इजीली। व्हाई दीस पीपल आर नॉट कमिंग? सो वो उसको क्यों नहीं ला रहे हैं? जो यंग जनरेशन है क्यों नहीं ज्वाइन कर रहा है? मैं खुद नहीं ला पा रहा हूँ क्योंकि हम उसको समझा नहीं पा रहे कि आंटा किस लिए फॉर्म हुआ था और किस लिए उसको आइडेंटिटी, आप आंटा को आइडेंटिटी क्राइसिस बोलते हैं, उनको आप मतलब नहीं है आइडेंटिटी क्राइसिस के। वो अमेरिकन सिटीजन बन चुके हैं, वो उनको उनका थॉट दूसरा है। तो उस थॉट को पकड़ना पड़ेगा कि उस थॉट को उन लोगों को कैसे लाएंगे आप। यहाँ पे कितने यंग जनरेशन तो हम नहीं देखते, जो बच्चे हैं, जो हम लोग, जो मेरा बेटा था कन्वेंशन अटेंड किए थे, तो स्कूल में पढ़ता था, मैं ले गया था। लेकिन जब ही समझा कि भाषण सुना रहे हैं बैठ करके, 4 घंटा कौन भाषण सुनेगा? कोई बच्चा भाषण सुनेगा? There is no way that anybody can listen 4 hours or 2 hours panel discussion. So we have to give a conclude decision और क्या कर रहे हैं। और अब रहा तक आंटा का मोटिव था कि एक दूसरे से मिले, एक दूसरे को मिंगल करें, वो भी नहीं रहा। आप कोई फंक्शन करते हैं, 10 आदमी अटेंड नहीं करता है, तो उस चीज को वो कहाँ गया? वो हारमोनी कहाँ गया? अगर वो हारमोनी था तो हारमोनी गया था। उस हारमोनी को आपको कनेक्ट करने के लिए क्या किया?
हम आपसे उसी पूछ रहे हैं। तो जब आप बोले, so my question to you is, what can you do to bring that harmony?
Harmony, how harmony comes? किस लिए? हम आंटा के लिए मैंने 2 प्रपोजल दिया था। परिचय दे दिया है। मैंने प्रपोजल दिया था आंटा के लिए कि मैं एक ट्यूशन सेंटर बनाता हूँ। नेपाल में वो बोल रहे थे अभी, he was doing like कि there is a education system, ये बोल रहे थे कि एजुकेशन सिस्टम बहुत कमजोर है। इस तरह से सिस्टम बनाया गया है कि आप कम्पीट नहीं कर सकते। तो उसको कैसे राइज कीजिएगा? एक छोटा सा किसी में फूड डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन कर दीजिए, उससे राइज मवेशी को एक्सटेंडेड नहीं हो। तो मैंने प्रपोजल दिया था कि मैं करता हूँ, मैं अपने से शुरू करता हूँ, 10 साल का कमिटमेंट लेता हूँ। 10 साल का, कोई 5 ईयर 1-2 ईयर का कमिटमेंट नहीं लेता हूँ। और मैं 50,000 पर महीने दूंगा, ट्यूशन सेंटर बनाऊंगा और विद्यार्थी को फ्री पढ़ाऊंगा। कहीं से कोई सपोर्ट नहीं आया। There is no way. So where we are, I floated the idea 2 years back. Nobody joined here, and
We are talking that we are going to extend that community for different way. So that is the first things. Bring that. I reach out. मेरे अपने गांव का हेडमास्टर को रीच आउट किया, वड़ाधीश को रीच आउट किया, गांव विकास अध्यक्ष को रीच आउट किया. वो क्या बोलता है, उसको उनको पता है, उनको मतलब ही नहीं कि आप 50,000 दे रहे हैं, क्योंकि उनके पास 10 करोड़ रुपया पड़ा हुआ है हर वड़ा में. वो आपको कोई हेल्प नहीं करेंगे. नो मैटर व्हाट, आप जो भी बात कर लें, भाषण जो भी कर लें, लेकिन आप सोल्यूशन नहीं दे रहे हैं. सोल्यूशन तो मैं दिया था, सोल्यूशन तो दिया कि एक्सटेंड करने के लिए मैं आपको अभी सोल्यूशन दे रहा हूँ कि आप हर गांव में एक आदमी आप 50,000 नहीं खर्च कर सकते, 10,000 खर्च कीजिए. स्टूडेंट जब एजुकेशन आप एक्सटेंड करेंगे, डेफिनेटली एजुकेशन जब भी आएगा तो मधेसी को पावर मिलेगा. एजुकेशन ही नहीं, कोई कम्पीट ही नहीं कर सकता. सो दैट इज वन थिंग. सेकेंड थिंग कि ना सदा यहाँ आते हैं लोग, बोले ना रतन जी बोले कि उस समय, हाँ मैं समझ रहा हूँ कि मैं, लेकिन मेरे पास I have to say a lot of things, but I know that you are raising the flag, but I am taking 1 minute more because everybody took the 1 minute. Okay? So that one. I will take 1 minute more because I think no, it's not ended out. It's not ended out. So this is the different story. कि यहाँ पे जो आंटा जो आते हैं, जो आदमी आते हैं, अब आंटा जो भी आदमी नेपाली मधेसी आए हैं, उसका लिस्ट नहीं है यार. एक साल में कितना आदमी अपोर होते हैं, कितना आदमी, किसी के पास कोई लिस्ट है, कोई डाटा है, नहीं है. उस चीज में लगे कि at least who is coming from the DB list, you can get the DB list from the website, get the Madhesi there, right? How many Madhesis? You can just easily उसको कर करके आप reach out कीजिए, फोन कीजिए यार, कौन सा बड़ी बात है. You can get the name by name, you have a LinkedIn, you have a social profile, you can get the name, और Facebook में आ जाएगा, उसको reach out कीजिए. वो कहाँ उस चीज में कमी, आपका ही आंसर दे रहे हैं कि हम हारमोनी को ब्रिंग कैसे लाए और कैसे रीच आउट. तो एक सिंपल उदाहरण बताऊं तो उसके थ्रू जाइए. और जो यहाँ है उसको तो आप फोन नहीं करते हैं, और जो मधेसी आ रहा है उसको ना लिस्ट बनाते हैं, ना कुछ बनाते हैं, और सोचते हैं कि हमको आंटा में एक कन्वेंशन कर लेंगे और आदमी आ जाएगा, इसमें बोर हो जाएगा. वो थोड़ा सा रियलिस्टिक से बहुत दूर चीज की बात है. मैं अभी अगर मुझे मौका मिला तो मैं फिर बोलूंगा, लेकिन अभी मेरा टाइम ऑफ हो गया है, इसलिए मैं अभी यहीं पे रुकता हूँ. मैं आपको दो क्वेश्चन आपने पूछा था, दोनों क्वेश्चन का जवाब दिया.
हाँ ठीक, जी. Thank you. Dr. Shah, the same thing. Now, please do not deviate. The question is, how can you, nobody else, Dr. Kant, how can Dr. Kant bring two things, and how can Dr. Kant will help ANTA on those two things? Not Jay Mandal, not Rajesh, but Dr. Kant.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Great questions. And I don't have many ideas. But I will go by sort of history, what we have done. And I'm not going to dramatically, what is that called, carve a new trajectory. So what we have done in the past, I will cling to that. My role in ANTA has been, basically I have articulated a lot of ideas for ANTA. Okay, can you hear me now? Huh? So I will be on that side, professional way of articulating ANTA's purpose. I write a lot of things about Nepali politics, in which I highlight Madhesi identity issues. I just published an article on India-Nepal relations in a journal, and that covers a lot of these ANTA issues, how these things have showed up in the international relations between India and Nepal. So those kind of things, and that is something that we did a lot. You did not get into that. But at the time when Madhesi movement started in Nepal, we did a lot of advocacy work. We brought people from Nepal who were very controversial leaders at the time, right? Yadavji ko bulaya gaya. And we did those kind of things. So, bigger picture, as Mukesh was saying, all these other things that we are doing are very good, and we should keep doing that. But we have to have our eyes on the big prize. And the big prize is that we have to keep hammering these political issues, these identity issues, And so that is one thing in the area, in terms of which I would be willing to work and keep working to strengthen ANTA. Another thing is, if you folks want to do like some programs where we can kind of tap into resources that we have here. Because particularly if you want to involve next generation, okay, then what is there for them? People in America always ask the question, what is there for me? So what is there? You also talked about that. What is there? And then we have to, again, it comes to making ourselves clear to the younger generation in terms of what is the relevance of this. So my kids might think that this is something that you went through, and I don't have any experience of that. So why is it important for me? It is important for everybody, because you look around the world, everywhere there is identity issue going on.
Yes.
Donald Trump is the advocate of identity issue in this country. Very divisive identity issue. But in the same way you can see everywhere else in the world. Gandhi ji jo hai, he was big advocate of divisive identity issue. So this is universal. Identity issue is universal around the world, and we are facing that every day. Look at how many shootings we have.
सर सॉरी इंटरप्ट कर रहल छी आगे सॉल्यूशन में हम जाय चाहे छी क्योंकि अहाँ कथी करबै ओइ आइडेंटिटी इश्यूज जे छै या मान लो you brought a very valid point. How can you help resolve that with for
we can help developing resources.
Okay.
I can help lead groups. I can help lead certain. We can come up with certain topics. There is. I am also in Dayton Council of World Affairs. One of the things we do is great decisions. That is nationally decided. What are the great issues right now, and on which we invite experts. We invite speakers. Same way, what are our important issues? Every year when you do convention, figure out that what are the 2 or 3 major issues that we are going to talk about. And since we are kind of moving around between Nepal and the United States, we have to focus on that so that your kids can understand how it is important for me to understand identity issue in order to fit in here in the United States. So we can develop those kind of things, and I will be willing to help with that. Last one, which is that I am not going to be an active participant in the day-to-day decisions of anti-executive committee. I am not going to do that because, as both of you say, that we believe in the leadership. We want leadership. Your leadership is as important to us as it is to anybody else. We want leaders who can lead us, even as founders. And that's what did not happen for some time. And we went through a lot of, we used to have post-traumatic stress disorder.
Okay. Yes, thank you. So, for future president, the question is advocacy, identity crisis, here's your resource moving forward to use on the bigger goal. Not obviously the goal is not to have the founding members or veterans to get involved in daily procedure or running up the operation, but this is the goal actually is to make sure something comes out that the current president or the team will in future consider and reach out to the resources that they're saying. Jayawardali, the same question for you. 2 things you would like to do and how would you do it? For ANTA.
All right, thank you. Very good question. So what I'm going to talk about what I'm going to do to this next generation team. So my thing I learned from my experience and mistakes. So I'm not going to do many things, but 2 things. So one thing I'm really passionate about, as a founder can tell you, I was kind of idea man, like doing this idea, that idea, and bringing together like a team. So what I will be a resource is, that's one of the passion. I have also started like Radio Nepali America and like Right now you can YouTube research JP Mandal show. So the idea is educate and share. Why me? Because you can see I have मैले चाहिँ धेरै पापड बेलेको छु. Means like say think about like म एउटा सानो गाउँ सप्तरीको सानो गाउँ एउटा पब्लिक स्कुलमा पढेको मान्छे. I had a struggle with the Nepali language very first. Then I go Kathmandu in Amritsar's campus by talking that time I have no idea Manuma commercial, but still I have to feel that Madesi that thing. Then after that, winning a scholarship, go to China. Now you are in that whole 25 people, there is one or two Madesi. Then you have to survive that kind of a struggle. Then from China coming to America, and then going to from technology to now in the finance. So I have I'm very passionate about the startup. How do you come to America, sharing this? I feel that I mentored my brothers. They were in a public school and they came to here. They do the PhD. They are doing very well. So at least I can share my knowledge to new future immigrant Nepalese to come here, whoever it is, and through my channel, through my education. Plus the leadership, I have taken a lot of leadership courses and I have to work with the different sales too. So I can easily can give you one new team, especially next generation, like 5 things the strategy wise. First, whatever already happened, you make mistake and you learn from the mistake. First of all, the new team I would encourage that set the goals. What are the realistic goals? Maybe 2 or 3 goals. Then find out what are your obstacles. What are the problems you are going to face? Third thing, think about the solution. Fourth thing, build a team. You already have awesome team, and then you already have a cheerleaders like the founders, like senior experience. Lot of people here to support you. And fourth, go do it. You will make mistake. That's okay. You learn and move forward. Wherever you are in life, whichever field you are, this is the mantra you have to apply to be successful. Because success is a principle. It is a mindset. And at the beginning of ANTA, we were not worried about how big is ANTA become. We want to become ANTA as a movement, ANTA as a mindset too, because we are all came from so much struggle and so much things. Think about there is maybe around 400,000 or 500,000 people from other regions. Madesi maybe hardly will have 5,000 or 10,000. So there is a huge gap there is a responsibility the new leadership, and I'm very optimistic about this new leadership. And we are always there to educate, share, support, and cheer.
Thank you, Jaji. You're the first one on time, so thank you. He did Reagan, so that's good. Same question. Please be specific. Sorry to say, but my goal was to get some real answers, and I'm still getting around the bush. I haven't found a real answer from any of you, and I apologize for saying this, but I am looking for. My goal was to figure out what can founders do on the not daily operation, but what project you would like to do beyond ANTA, where you are helping ANTA, but in name of ANTA, but on your own in a larger diaspora. That's the same question for you. Let's see if you can get it.
Again, thank you. Well, I want to talk about from the human side, basically, or what is most benefited me from ANTA, and the answer will be that that's what I would like to continue. So, well, we talked about why I got involved in ANTA because, the desire to empowerment and identity. Over the years, I have learned the beauty. I think we talked about the word unity and diversity. The root, there is in America, every money is a word called equilibris unum, which means unity and diversity. And I feel very fortunate, again, that having grown up in Nepal and also half a life living here, the beauty of the diversity and the joy. And through ANTA over the years, the friendship I have developed, and a lot of good friends are not here, and I want to name some of them that I missed. Vinod Star, Sukhdev Star, JP Star, those guys, even Peter Singh, Subodh Malik, they were all the friendship I developed through this, and they improve my quality of life. And whenever I would go anywhere in the U.S., I felt home because it was a relationship. So ANTA gave me more than I ever gave anything to ANTA because of this relationship. And I would be here to advocate and promote that relationship and explain the value of that. And I hope that with time, through that, those people that I named and other wonderful people that are not here that become part of that will be here, that this will be 500 people where we will, because there's a shared joy in celebrating our commonality. And so that is one thing, and I would do that by first being myself and sharing. What do you do? By sharing our experience that we have. This is how we're helping. You call us and we will tell. I will tell the story, so you have hope and strength. If we could do 4 people, 2 people, look at the resources you have, look at the whole things you have. That's what we're going to do. And a couple other things I will continue to say. What I have learned. So, one, I thought by coming to the United States, and I learned a lot of things. But I also thought that some of the not so good thing about where we grew up, whether it's the caste system or some of the pride, will automatically go away. What I learned that it does not go away. We are, our child forming years have a lot of effect on who we are. And that does not go away. So I would encourage what I have learned, that it is true that 2 people can look at the same thing and see it differently. It is true. They are not wrong. They are also right. 2 people could be right. And understand and respect and live with people, agree to disagree. I think it is okay, but respect that. I think this is very valuable. Other thing I learned, which I always have argued with my parents, in Nepal, every time people say, what do people say? In the 90s, I have learned, that was Nepal. I don't have to live here what people say. I live here what I say, who I am, the journey of finding myself. Who am I? I did not know who I was, because I was what my parents told me, being engineer, whatnot. The discovery of who I am, knowing yourself, being yourself, liking yourself, and giving yourself as a journey. And I would like to encourage us to get away from some of the things what we are not good in how we are created and told. We are all individual in a very unique way. We are in the land of opportunity where we have opportunity to be ourselves. And let's do that and help our next generation to be that beauty. There's a lot of things that they will miss if we don't teach them what even march about, they wouldn't even know what the march is. This is very critical for us, in that it's not for us. We have done what we could, but for our next generation, we are probably the last hope for them to have continue a little bit of cultural things we want, beauty we have. So I said a bunch of things, but again, thank you very much.
Thank you. So what I got great point from you was, see if we can reach out. Reach out to the old breweries. And I know Ridula is going to hold you on that one. Okay? So thank you. Ratan, that's the same question for you.
Well, I think we have.
Did I do before time?
Oh, you did. Sorry. Yes, he did before time. So hats up to him. Let's give him a big hand.
I will be shorter than that this time. But I think we have achieved the 3 basic ingredients of ANTA was identity and integration and empowerment. I believe we have done a pretty good job on bringing awareness about our identity, and that will never end basically. It will continue, but we have done our part, I guess, and we should continue. So that there is not much to do. Integration, I think we are very well known now. Most of the organizations approach ANTA, I can see, Optica, all those NRN even, NCC. So those 2 fronts have been done. Now I think our focus would be, we are smaller in number, relatively. So we need to empower ourselves. So empowering in the sense that, networking will be a good thing. And it is a two-way traffic. ANTA cannot alone do that. I think, it can But one thing I would think that is the most needed, you can notice that, even I propose that in NRN also, is, we need to create more focus on entrepreneurship, like Madesi network, Madesi entrepreneurs. That will basically, if our paisa collection में कितने दिक्कत हुई, like you went through, like people, same people will give, but they are very limited. And especially, and money is the one very crucial thing to run any organization. And I think that we need to हम सब सशक्तिकरण खुद के empowerment पर अपना सब के चाहिए और फिर then I know just to I'm in real estate development. जब हम जब यहाँ लाइक केना घर किने से नहीं मालूम, even though and nobody will talk about that. We used to talk Nepal even, but nobody will talk how to buy a house here, how to invest, what the stock market is, what is options. Now we know. Like over in like Austin, there are 20 people. They all came for a degree with that. I told them they all used to work in a gas station. I said, go and ask how much money you brought. 5,000. Go and tell them, hey, I'm putting 5,000 in their next Pakistani, Bengali, Indian subject owner. Can you give me 2% on profit sharing? And that is how they did, and now they have about 15 or 20, I would say. They have their own 7-8 stores. So we need to do more focus with Madesis. And we are a little bit hesitant. Lots of people Madesi share. And I want everyone, whoever you can do in your area. Like I can create a group where like investment, like in a small shopping center, in a house construction, in a real estate in general. I can small thing that you can be, start investing. And that way, you can also like Ismaili, Ismaili community. All those gas stations around the countries are basically held by them. You cannot even get to supply in there, and they know the camaraderie and they're there. So why we can have a Madesi network of entrepreneurs as a part of it, that will activate.
Thank you. That was a good point. Yes, entrepreneurship. So helping young generation move towards entrepreneurship, and he's the man actually. So I just wanted to get that out. The same question for you.
Okay, I'll tell you exactly what I will do.
There you
I
go.
will do that. First of all, I want everybody to see that I have a prosthetic leg. I lost my leg 32 years ago. It's not 34 years ago in Nepal. Okay? So, I have decided that, and I have already started to work on disability project in Nepal. And I will give you why it is so important in Nepal. Because of the geography of Nepal, we have on an average 4 amputations just in Kathmandu every day. So once the amputation takes place, in the hospital they are fine. But when you go to home, their struggle begins. They don't have a bathroom that they can take a shower. Because I cannot take a shower like you guys. I have only one leg. I cannot take a shower with this leg. So I have to have something to hold on. So I went to Nepal, very nice hotels. They don't have a disabled friendly shower place. So for 3-4 days I just have to sponge myself. I couldn't get a shower. Yak and Yeti, you go to most of the 5-star hotels in Kathmandu, there are very few. Shortly, when we are having NRN conference, one of the things that I said in that conference, that should be the part of the provision that we will do conference in Shortly if they are a disabled man. And they did that 3 days before the convention. So, what I wanted to introduce in ANTA, to talk about, educate about disabilities, disability-related law that is to be developed in Nepal. I have a prosthetic leg that costs $70,000. But this is only 3 pounds. As a result, it allows me to do a lot of things that I can do. Like I went to training. And training, I went to go to base camp. A lot of even normal people have hard time going to the base camp. But in Nepal, the best prostitute you can find is 17 pounds. So when you don't have a leg from here to carry 70 pounds, you can't even walk a kilometer. You go in Kathmandu, you don't have a ramps. So I think, and that's what I told Rajiv, I will talk to you 10-15 minutes. And and this is what I was going to talk to him about, to have a discussion in NRNA. Because when I was in Nepal again, in Embassy, I went and said, every project that we do give from the United States, we must have a disability ADA provision in the contract. So there are a lot of issues that disabled people face, and it's growing every day. We don't care until it happens to us. तपाईँको पनि फ्यामिली मेम्बरलाई भयो भने भोलिदेखि तपाईँ इस्युमा एकदम टाइट भइहाल्नुहुन्छ प्यासनेट तर भएको छैन त कसैलाई पनि हुनसक्छ म पनि बिहान कलेज जाँदाखेरि मेरो खुट्टा थियो फर्केर आउँदा मेरो खुट्टा थिएन हामीले कसैले इम्युनिटी दिएको छैन नि भगवान महादेवले अथवा जिजसले चाहे मोहम्मदले कि तुमको कुछ नहीं होगा it can happen to anybody at any time. So we need to think about people of those special needs. Yep. So I cannot do things. I can do only one thing.
Thank you. No, that was good. Thank you. So, disability project for Mukesh Dai. Annapurni Didi, I think we're running out of time, so I apologize. So let's try to wrap up if you can, because he had more time to think, and that's why I'm trying to cut short. 5 minutes, right? So 5 minutes, may what were 2 things you would like to do, because he had more time to think. So let's do 2 things or 1 thing you'd like to do.
Okay, Rajbhai, thank you for the opportunity to speak a few lines about ANTA, what I had done, what shall I do in the future. But I will give yourself 100%. Just like you give to your life. If you're involved in the leadership, you're involved with any kind of involvement with the organization, on this doesn't mean that you have to have position. Your mind, you can give suggestion, you can work for it, you can bring idea, you can help. Give your 100% with your alert mind. For past is the history, it's a proven fact what I have done. For ANTA, of course, I'm founder, that's a lot. I'm still actively, past 2 terms, I've been the advisories, chairs, and before that, I was a spokesperson, chief spokesperson for ANTA. Before than that, I was board of directors. Before than that, I was too busy with other organizations, I was the founders. As a spokesperson, I like to say, because it's very important, that makes a difference for ANTA. ANTA's record is in the Congress here. The reason I'm saying in 2008, I just want to be brief, just to the point quickly, not many things. 2015, when Nepal had lots of issues going on against Tarai human rights violation, that's what the term is used, when we have supply scarcity in Nepal, and lots of blame game was going somewhat true, somewhat untrue. I live in North Carolina in Katy, and I'm a founder and the past president and trustee in the Nepal Center of North Carolina. So we involve very much with the political leaders here, because that makes a difference. They make the policy. So we have lots of time meetings with Americans, policy holders. So in the council, we had a meeting and we had invited a congressman, which is an Asian Affairs congressman. He's still congressman. He has been sent to Nepal to study the current situation at that time from Nepal and India relation, when it was big progress going on. And at the same time, Obama has sent him, because Americans, they work very differently. We are like different, of course their education system is different, so they know. So he has returned from Nepal, and he had interviewed some Tararian leaders, active Tararian leaders, some party, I don't want to say Tararian party, but in fact, leaders to understand the issues. We have all the study written. He had already presented the case to the Congress. Now we wanted to hear from him. So he came to the council meeting, not the formal council, just for Nepali. So we have around 5,000 more people, but in that council, it was full, room was full. I normally go, but that day I was not feeling good, but I was getting better. My husband, he pushes me sometimes, no, go, you do it. And sometimes I don't feel like I'm tired or I'm sick or whatever it is. That day I was too late to go anywhere. He just said, no, go. I'm glad I went there. So it was a meeting and he presented the case about Nepal, India, and what Americans should do and what suggestions from us as Nepali people. They were all Nepali, including me, but Tarai wanted me there. Nobody, me and my husband. That's so normally meeting, you won't see many people. So he presented his study from Nepal as a little, abstract. And Nepali, my friends, or leaders, they started to speak different things. And I know they were saying something, feel like that because what will be done in the Congress. But Congress is not full. They study. We know, sometimes they know more about Nepal than we know because they go to study. We are just there. When we say like buying a vegan, it's not. If you buy it, you get excited. So they just study. So anyway, so everybody speaks some part true, part okay. It's one-sided story. And my foot was shaking. I'm not easy person to be sick. I'm very courageous in many ways. That day I want to talk, but I couldn't because they're all my good friends. They all believe me. I have more, elite people, my friends, than prior. Now we have lots of it. I live there. I'm the first Nepali people there, my family. And I found it, so I feel like I lose all the friends. That's the situation. But then I feel like I have a blood running in my body, and I have a breath, I'm alive. Here, I'm hearing everything, lots of things not true. And my people, all Nepali, but especially my territory that I am, they are suffering too. So if I don't see what I'm going to seek a friend, want a friendship, or should I speak? I said, no, I live, it's my identity. So I spoke, I just said very nicely, I respected everybody what he said, but the fact is this, I'm from the border. I know that. So Congressman says she's correct, because that's his data shows. And then after that, I then the speech on like newspaper, they come, they bring the microphone in my mouth. I said, I don't want to talk any further, but I had to say already said. So that resulted, I had 8, so after I could take change myself, but no, I want to give ANTA. So as a spokesperson, I talked to my president, ANTA's president. We have 8 people's delegation committee to the congressman in the DC. Dr. Pramod Kanti, I invited, he came also, he was also one, Harivansa. So we presented our case, not just Parayan, it's in the politics, facts. And then the congressman said, those are the facts, study. I don't know what they did or not, but we did. We had to put a protest in front of the White House, rally, on one issue. And then ANTA was not invited in the rally, in the party too. I heard it. I got it because I was working with NRA long time before. So we did the White House protest also together. So it was lots of things. Future going on, I would say, is our identity, integrity, and power should be true also in America. We need identity in America also. So we are working in
बस एक बार आके एक मिनट इंट्रोड्यूस कर देंगे एक मिनट 2 मिनट what you would like to do 2 मिनट पैनल करना तो पड़ेगा it's been published बस ये
you can think later now it's the state too. So until I was here for one such regular going on, this convention, we should have perfectly invited mayor or senator local. It need to be nobody in America as well. This is correct Malaysia living right now. So any activity our identity should be in American to make ourselves understand. Otherwise people don't know us.
Thank you, Didi. Okay, please, understand the time. So, hit the point. If you have 2 points, let's go on 2 points. If not, let's pass it on. So, sir, 2 points.
I'll give you 3.
Go for it. You have 3 minutes. I'm just kidding. Go ahead. Yeah.
2 minutes. So we heard lots of experience, history, philosophical discussions, discourse. Let's get into execution part. So any organization will proceed only when you have planned yourself, you have structure in place. I commit to help the upcoming board to do an annual planning, help them do the annual planning, put the structure in place as per your mission and vision, the statement and the experience and the historical feedback that we have got here. Combining all together, I'll go and help the team and promise to help you reach me out or I reach you out. That's called annual yearly planning for execution. Number two, we need funds for executing the events. We as a team here, the new team members, we should develop a framework to approach for huge fundraising. There are tons of opportunities in the nation here. There are various organizations where once we have the plan, the structure in place with the purpose, we can write that project plan and reach out for fundraising in so many foundations that are here in Columbus and across the country to bring the revenue and then to execute the plan. Those are two things.
You are awesome.
Third one could be
You are awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Shivji, that was awesome. Thank you. Sir, I'm going to ask you a little bit different. How do you think NRN can help ANTA? And you have 3 minutes specific like him.
Thank you. That's really great questions, and I was going to kind of connect between ANTA and NRNA. So what I'm going to talk to you is immediate, short-term, and long-term how we can integrate NRNA with ANTA. When I came, we had a clear vision, and I had shared that with Aparajit too, and with our executive board also. But we got distracted a little bit past 7-8 months, and I really apologize for that. And reason is just the it's a intervention by past presidents and things like that. So that is a great example Ratanji just gave me. Stay away. That's a really good point. Now, on the culture and education, what I want to do is promote language. The Nepali, yes, number one. But besides Nepal is a multi-language country, right? We need to promote Maithili and other languages also. So we had a plan to work with organizations like ANTA and other organizations to, start classes, language classes, as well as promote the language. Also, it comes along with some little bit of cultural heritage. Number two is on the side of environment. Now, that comes with my own personal observation and experience that when I watched that in 2012, so many people died, just lack of ropes. It's here, it's really dear to me, Saptari district, Nepal. I was kind of raised there, and losing so many lives just because there was no ropes and little boats and things. So I'm right now, NRNA, we are working with the UK Air National Guard on the emergency management systems and with the Nepal Army also. We are coordinating that. And my vision, the long term, is maybe we can, with the various organizations, come together and put in different locations, emergency management center with the boats, ropes, all this, hardware and things in place where we can use it. And third is on a socio-economic area. It's a long term also. Right now I'm working on a project in Jitong district library. It's the first in Nepal disabled friendly library going to be. And Mukesh Mama just brought up about ADA. When I saw the initial project, they had made a building from ground floor to first floor a ramp. Can you imagine? I said, how you can go on that ramp, take the ramp on the wheelchair? That's nonsense. That cannot, So I sent out my engineers in Nepal, ADA compliance here. It's not required ADA compliance in Nepal, so they don't even think about like that. So we built up something there. So we are putting that now. Different kind of ramp. Bathroom is friendly to the disabled people. Also braille language for the blind people. So there are a lot of there's going to go. And also now immediate one. I want to work with ANTA. I learned a lot of lessons while I'm a treasurer. Compliance, 501c tax compliance. Mukesh Mama taught me a lot. So what I want to do is, Mirulaji and our new treasurer from ANTA work together. I have learned a lot of these things. This is really opportunity mentioned that about how difficult that is. So I want to really collaborate and share my knowledge. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I was going to take 1 second. One second, I was going to take. They basically mentioned that Rajiv and I are already working on getting removed the FICA tax for Nepalese students, just like an Indian student or Pakistani student, and we are going to DC this summer to champion for that cause, which will help all Nepali students from Tarai to Hill to everyone.
Yeah, thank you. Balakrishna ji, let's come back to you.
Sure, thank you. Try to utilize my time. So I want to focus on empowerment part of our motto, which in turn I believe it's also facilitating or improving the identity of the people. Unless you are empowered, nobody wants to listen to you. So how do I contribute towards empowerment of Madhesis? I know like this is Madhesis and this is ANTA. I think one of ANTA's core value is who we are, right? And we cannot have ANTA without saying something from Madhesis. So I want to focus that part. Now, any project, I want to enable all of your projects actually. I want to provide. I have an IT background, and I also run a IT company in Nepal. So what I want to offer here is maybe for say like Ratan Bhaiji said he wants to focus on creating a platform for entrepreneurs. Sushilji said probably create a tutor system, right? Or a language promotion environment or some project Answer and Rajiv. So any of such projects, I want to promise like about, if we have more, that's fine, but I want to provide a website, at least a basic website for at least 10 projects, and also do and then like if anybody needs some IT skills, I'm also willing to pass on those skills to any.
Thank you.
I just want to, what you said, Rajiv ji. ANTA has done in the past collaboration with NRN. I think what you can do, like for example, when Huri tornado came in Madhesh, so I was with the president of NRN, like global, right? So we said, okay, ANTA can give 3 lakhs, and you put. Then he said, okay, I'll put 7. So what I'm telling you, when something like that happens in Madhesh, I want that you champion that you use ANTA. Because ANTA can mobilize better for you in Madhesh, and so I think that collaboration you can do, and we have done in the past.
That's good.
Okay, a second thing, coming back to you, tutor, I started ijot.org, I run, me and my nephew and my village, and that time when the government was not giving any laptop, we put 10 laptops in my village, in my Darwaja, and I gave everybody, irrespective, they all could come and play, and you can take, tutor was the biggest challenge, so I can tell you the thing. All my laptop got stolen. But I'm telling you, it's not that we have not done on our part. But if you want, like you have a big plan, we have gone through some, but we cannot handle that. Let me, but we can share our experience.
Let me just counter that one, that I asked my school, I don't know, another schools, like, I asked that I am going to make like a very nicely, well facilitated computer room, and I will pay even electricity bill in my, and I will make like all grills in all the windows, give the carpets for the computers.
Let's talk about the.
So that one, or I'm just giving Midlaji, my wife collected like 4 cartons of books for the young kids till 5 or 4. So she wants to donate in Nepal. So if you are thinking some library in Nepal, we can give like 4 cartons of very nice books, because she is collecting all the stationeries with the folders, with the pens and everything.
Okay, so my next one, we have 15 minutes for this. If you have a question, raise your hand. Ma'am, any of these gentlemen or lady, please feel free to ask.
So we covered almost every area of the, one area I did not see was how we are empowering women in Thai. What is your, I have not heard anybody discussing on this issue, so I would like to know a little bit about that. Like anybody, I have not.
I just said
One
that-
person.
I did
I
not
just
hear
said that,
anything about empowering women.
saying is.
You have 2 minutes then.
1 minute only.
Oh, please.
We have many people can say like I deal with lots of organizations, and believe me, during what Aprajita has done in her tenure, I think ANTA has the largest women presence, and I envision that ANTA be one time all women executive, and I think that I can see coming. So what I'm saying is they can decide, no?
I know,
There you
but
go.
my question to everybody, whoever can answer this question, that what are we doing back home to empower the women?
1 minute,
Not
1
here.
minute.
Okay, I'll come back. I did not understand you. I thought you were saying.
I think the back home, the women empowerment comes from the first thing that we need to do is work in something like violence for women. Like right now in Nepal, they're taking a statute of limitation out from the rape cases. That is very wonderful, commendable step that they're taking. A lot of people have accepted few things in Nepal for women. Like तरकारी चलायो भने त मैले लोगले पिटिहाल्छ नि अब तरकारी चलाउँदा त हमारा पिटबे गर्थ्यो न कौन बड़का बात भगले तो उ सब त एक्सेप्ट कर लेले छथिन तो एहन जे एउटा एकटा बात सब छै गांव गांव में आ गांव में जे वुमन सब के अथी कल जाय छै यूज कल जाय छै फॉर रॉन्ग रीजंस वही के अवेयरनेस वही के सिस्टम के लेल हर एक organization, Nepali organization, every Nepali organization has that responsibility here as well as.
Thank you. Now we have more questions, so go for it.
Hi everyone. So my name is Prabhat Jha. So my question is to the founders and the advisor board. So basically we talked about the identity crisis that we have in Nepal, basically for the Madhesi community across east to west. What I believe is we are at culprit as well. Since we basically associate more of us to India rather than doing it for Nepal. For example, we associate more with biryani rather than doing it with gundruk or hilo. We kind of link more of with kurta and other stuff that the attire that is wear in India, North India, or maybe in southern part of India, rather than doing it with Dabra Surwal or Dhaka Tobi, for say. So since we talked about suppressing, we have been suppressed. Don't we think it is our responsibility as well as a Madhesi community to gain momentum and from within feel as a part of Nepal, and then even a whole Nepal will embrace us. So what is your take on that?
So only one can answer that. Anyway, chalo, Balkrishna ji.
Sorry, who? If anybody wanted to.
Please.
Go ahead.
So what I believe is the true definition of identity comes from freeness. If you are free, you should not be bound to choose your what you like. You should not be bound to choose eating gundu to prove yourself. What you like is your identity, right? So that is, I mean, once you are free and then express yourself, that is your true identity. Find your identity. That's my.
Thank you. Next question.
सबभन्दा पहिले नमस्कार सबैजनालाई। मेरो क्वेसन त छैन, तर उहाँले जब वुमेन इम्पावरमेन्टको कुरा भन्नुभयो त्यसमा म केही थप्न चाहन्छु। मेरो वाइफ हामी बारा जिल्ला कलैयाको हो, ऊ नाउको प्रेसिडेन्ट हो नेपाली अमेरिकन अर्गनाइजेसन अफ वायो, र यो अर्गनाइजेसनको एउटा सिस्टर अर्गनाइजेसन छ वुमेन्स इम्पावरमेन्ट, नाउ वुमेन्स इम्पावरमेन्ट, जसको एक्जिक्युटिभमा खालि वुमेन्सहरू हुनुहुन्छ डिफ्रेन्ट फिल्डबाट, र काम के हो भने हाउ टु प्रमोट वुमेन्स विदिन द युएस एन्ड इन नेपाल, र त्यसको भने मेरो वाइफ प्रेसिडेन्ट। आफ्टर द्याट मेरो वाइफले आफ्नो नाममा आफ्नो स्रोतबाट महिला छात्रवृत्ति हाम्रो कलैयाको हाउसबाट क्रिएट गरेकी छिन्, र फर्दर केटीहरूको एजुकेसनमा पनि फर्दर प्लान लिएर अगाडि बढिरहेका छिन्। त्यही कुरा म सेयर गर्न चाहन्छु। सुनिदिनु भएकोमा धन्यवाद।
Thank you. Thank you. ANTA used to serve 5 unprivileged women before. We had created every year a funding and for five underprivileged kids, right? There was a criteria actually as well. I'm not sure if we did that, but maybe that's another way to go back on that issue, because I know when I was involved, we had for 4 or 5 years, we used to collect funds and then help five kids actually, women kids, our girls in Nepal. Any more questions? Anybody?
धेरै कुरा छ, म एउटा मात्रै पोइन्ट भन्छु। अहिले करेन्ट इस्यु नेपालको अहिले लले चाहिँ वुमेन्सको पनि धेरै संख्यामा पोलिटिकल पोजिसनमा आइरहेको छन्। आई सी द्याट एन्ड वान मिनिस्टर केम हियर वाज प्राउडली सेइङ दैट वर्ल्ड भन्दा पनि नेपालको अहिले वुमेनको ती इम्पावरमा चाहिँ धेरै पोजिसन वुमेनको छ, रिजर्भ छ, दे गिभिङ द्याट। माई आन्सर वाज यो सबभन्दा नराम्रो भएको छ, किनभने नि पोजिसन त दिन्छ तर पावर छैन, प्र्याक्टिकल बोल्न पनि सक्दैनन्, र बोलेको उसको काम अरू जेन्ट्सहरूले गरे हुन्छ, उनीहरूको तल पोजिसन छ, दे हेभ नो, सो इट्स पावरलेस। So rather not be in the position, if you be in the position, use your skill. भन्दा स्किल डेभलपमेन्ट हुन्छ, पोजिसन लियो भने त्यो काम गर्ने, त्यो बोल्ने पनि, नत्र भने लङ टर्म वुमेनहरू झन् तल झर्छ के। सो एनी पर्सन यु टक अबाउट द्याट, यु हेभ पोजिसन, टेक द पार्ट, डोन्ट बी बिहाइन्ड। धेरै ठुलो पोजिसनमा मान्छेहरू गइसके तर केही गर्न सक्दैन। हाम्रो दुईटा, हाम्रो देवमै, हाम्रो फ्यामिलीमै, हाम्रो नाति मतलब हाम्रो रिलेसनमा धेरै पावरमा छन्, but they are very bold, both have PhD, one is medical doctor because they have lots of degree and work, nobody can defeat them। तर सानो सानो एसिस्टेन्ट पोजिसनमा ल्याउँछ, के पनि भने मेरो सबै काम उसले गरिदिन्छ, दिदी म त के गर्ने, त्यस्तो मान्छे पोजिसनमा नजानु, पोजिसन लिनु पनि बोल्ड हुनुहोस्।
Thank you, Didi. Thank you, that was good. Okay, any other ANTA question? You can ask Ratan Dai to give you $20,000 for ANTA right now. So I'm saying, any other question you have for ANTA, not personal, by the way.
So the answer I was looking from your question was, I will support the new team financially, physically, and everything. That's what I was looking for. Nobody gave me that.
Okay, so let me put that on you all. At least 2 of you who want to answer that question. How can you support?
आप तो हैं, बहुत लोग नहीं थे, कुछ नहीं बोला।
So what was your question?
So everybody gave their ideas. Nobody said I will support the ANTA. Somebody questioned me yesterday, there's another ANTA, what are you doing about it? I'm like, what can I do? I've not even taken the presidency yet.
Okay.
Right?
So what do you think you as a veteran and founding members and founders can do to help alleviate? I think we need to talk about that a little bit, right? So the question is, ANTA's funding, bringing back the glorious 2016 and before, that people wanted to go before. If you went, those who went before 16, it was fun. There was no fighting. There were hundreds of people, by the way, right? So what could we do? 2 minutes. I want one of you to answer. Any of you can answer, but 2 minutes. What do you think we should do? Like, you might be the better one.
I think Lalit already answered that he is going to champion the cause to do the reconciliation process. And the second terms in the finance, we are always willing to support you, but the cause, we have to, I think, break this into two facets. One will be general fund for your day-to-day administration, and we can contribute to that. But if it is something, that project that anybody wants to take, like for example, if I'm going to raise a disability project through ANTA, then I will come up with the funding mechanism that how we are going to fund. I'm not going to say, ANTA, give me $10,000. What I'm going to say is, I'm going to call my friends, American friends, my workplace, and everybody, and ask for $100, $200, $500 to fund me in this project, because I have to sell that ideas to them that why it is worth investing on my project through the ANTA. So I think for a general fund, I think tonight we are doing a fundraising program, I think, and we'll be happy to contribute generously.
Thank you. I think you have a question.
नमस्ते सबजना के हमारा क्वेश्चन है जे कि एंटा एगो और साइड में अपना सब के पैरेलल चल रहा है, इससे सब अपने सब के अवगत है तो की कैल जाए ताकि अपना सब की बैक बाइटिंग एंड सो ऑन से की कर पे अपना सब ताकि अपना सब सेम पेज में रह जाए की रेजोल्यूशन
हम तो ये बारे में बड़ा एक्सटेंसिवली बात करी है रिकंसिलिएशन प्रोसेस के बारे में मृदुला जी से ऑलरेडी, और प्रमोद दाई के भी कुछ आइडिया थे तो हम प्रमोद दाई के
अइले हमर आइडिया की कहबे मतलब डेमोक्रेटिक आइडिया, और डेमोक्रेटिक आइडिया की है जे जना जॉर्ज डब्ल्यू बुश इराक में जब गए तो इट वाज पॉलिशन ऑफ द विल, आपको आना है तो आइए, आपको नहीं आना है तो नहीं है। तो देयर शुड बी समथिंग लाइक दैट, बिकॉज वी, हम लोगों का एक संस्कार क्या है कि वी आर वेरी मच इम्प्रेस्ड बाय दिस आइडिया दैट ऑल ऑफ अस बी ऑलवेज टुगेदर। Brothers are not together, siblings will not be together, everybody fights, that's human nature, we fight over things. So the point is that just because we have another faction, and that faction wants to constitute its own entity as an independent organization, we should not have, that's good. Why can't we have 10 ANTA organizations, or ANTA-like organizations? If you can collect people, well, that's fine. If they are willing to go with you, that's fine. So we should not be hammering this message too much that वो पहले कहा था ना, वो क्या कहते हैं उसको, जॉइंट फैमिली, दादा से लेकर के परनाती तक एक ही जगह रहता था। आजकल तो उस तरह का तो सिस्टम नहीं है। भाई भी नहीं रहना चाहता है, बेटा भी नहीं रहना चाहता। अपने बेटा को जो अब कितना प्रेम करते हैं ना बेटा बेटी से, लेकिन कहेंगे घर में आके रहो तो ना, हाँ मेरे घर में रहेगा, और उसके घर में कहते हैं कि मूव कर जाते हैं तो कहेगा दैट्स नॉट गुड आइडिया। Same way,
keep the good work.
Yeah, keep the good work, keep your good work, attract more people.
Let people see, if they find value in you, they will come.
एक क्वेश्चन का आंसर अनआंसर्ड रह गया कि आप लोग ठीक है, संभव नहीं है, you cannot merge in 1-2 years, right? Or you cannot bring back them to in one organization. The question is still unanswered, and it is unanswered to like my thought that कि ANTA तो एक ही है, तो फिर दूसरा ANTA के थ्रू ANTA का लोगो प्रयोग करता है, आदमी को बरगलाता है, और आदमी कुछ उनके ANTA के नाम में एसोसिएटेड है, और बहुत सारा डिग्नेटरीज NRM के भी लोग उधर जाते हैं, और ये NRM के लोग इधर आए हुए हैं, उधर भी बैठते हैं, तो कौन सा ANTA है? आपको ये क्लियर करना पड़ेगा कि he is representing NRN here and some of the NRN dignitaries representing there. So as a general people, I am confused. Which ANTA? Only founder बैठ के आप ANTA बना लेंगे, वो नहीं होता है। तो ANTA तो उधर भी है, आप माने या नहीं माने, तो उसको आप कैसे टैकल करेंगे? लोगों को कैसे आप हटाना चाहते हैं? जैसे माँ बोली, माँ अपना नाम अलग कर लिया, उसी तरह एक तो ANTA के नाम में फंक्शन कर रहा है, उसको आप रोकने के लिए क्या कर रहे हैं? हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं? हम खुद क्या कर रहे हैं? लीगल नोटिस देना है, नहीं देना है? नया टीम का मैंने अपरिचिता जी को बोला था कि लीगल नोटिस दीजिए। Why as advisor I advise you, why you are using ANTA logo with other platform if you are original ANTA? That's my
मुझे लाइव करिएगा, लीजिए मुझे लाइव कीजिए, मैं बोलती हूँ लाइव। गुची के पर्स का दाम $5,000 है बाजार में, और न्यूयॉर्क के स्ट्रीट पे $20 में मिलता है, उसका भी बायर्स है। दोनों पर्पस सर्व ही कर रहा है, दोनों में आप पैसा रखते हैं, सेल फोन रखते हैं, बारिश में छाता भी रख लीजिएगा, सैनिटरी नैपकिन भी रख लीजिएगा। कोई हमको बोला अभी हाल में कौन रियल एंटा है, हमने आप अंधे हैं, लोगों तो कोई चुरा लेगा। आज के डेट पे 6 फेसबुक पेज है एंटा के नाम से। जस्ट टू लेट यू नो, कोई भी एंटा का फेसबुक सरेंडर ही नहीं करता है। अभी भी 6th कन्वेंशन का पेज चल रहा है। मोहन यादव के बोलने से जो प्रेसिडेंट है, आप मान लिए तो नहीं चलेगा।
मैं मानने की आपको रोकता हूँ इसमें, लेकिन गुशी का सामान बाजार में खरीदने से कंपैरिजन नहीं कर सकते। गुशी 2 ऑफिस नहीं है। देयर इज नो 2 ऑफिस ऑफ गुशी, नो हेडक्वार्टर ऑफ गुशी। So you cannot compare with the
Let me give you an example. आपके 6 फाउंडर कहाँ पर है ये बताइए।
नहीं, फाउंडर से
रूट पे आ रहा हूँ ना।
नॉन प्रॉफिट की जो हमारे पास क्या है वजूद नॉन प्रॉफिट का, वो सबसे पहले आप पता लगाइए। हमारे पास जो एसेट है वो ओरिजिनल एसेट है, ना हमने चोरी की है, ना हमें दान में मिला है। द इलेक्टेड कमिटी by ANTA community stayed on one side.
I understand.
Listen,
but
Sushil ji, Sushil ji, let me
आप
speak.
हम लोग कितना भी डिबेट कर ले।
So if you
डिबेट हम कर ले, आप डिफेंड कर ले, ये लोग डिफेंड कर ले, ANTA को और फाउंडर को आप ला ले, उसके सॉल्यूशन तो खोजना पड़ेगा। अगर आप नहीं सॉल्यूशन खोजते हैं तो जितना भी बात करें आप, हम इसमें इस टेबल में बात करें, कल को 2 साल के बाद फिर कन्वेंशन होगा, फिर वही बात होगा, फिर वही चीज आगे बढ़ेगी। तो कहीं तो ब्रेक लगना चाहिए।
Can you suggest something? Why you have vision?
I have a vision that why you cannot give a legal notice that you are using.
I think we already talked about that.
And why you cannot?
So let me Sushil ji. Sushil ji is an advisor to our committee. So I went to law agencies. Those who are hearing me, I went to the court of Virginia. I was being told, and you know, Rajiv ji, that by sending a legal notice, it does not help. Basically, you have to file a lawsuit. You should have a lawyer. Spend 10 to
offline.
Yeah.
Let's do offline. Now we need a discussion on this.
No, this is, a food for thought. I know this is something everyone can work together and they can use their brain.
नहीं, ये चीज
नहीं, अब नहीं।
आप देखिए धीरज जी,
बंद कर दो।
ये अच्छा ही है। एंटा का प्रथा है कि खाना खाने के बाद जब बहुत ज्यादा खा लेते हैं, इसी तरह हम लोग बचाते हैं।